I was told you might be running for mayor. And I wanted to speak to you about that. Um,
So I've actually kind of changed my mind on that
okay.
as of actually today. Went for a nice little hike up Chile to clear my mind, and decided that I only recently came back from a couple-month vacation, and I don't think I'm kind of
Mm.
ready to jump into that just yet. I've been mayor once before, and I know the sort of headaches that kind of come with it.
Yeah, it's
I mean, I'm sure you know yourself.
it's demonstrably more brain numbing due to, let's just say, red tape that's still being sorted out. Um,
Yeah, it's a lot of a. Well, I always find that people see the things that you don't do more so the things that you try and do.
correct.
It's a lot of
Um,
what it is. Not to mention the fact I was the last mayor before the economic crash, so I couldn't really get much done. I couldn't even get the speed limit changed.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It was a bit limiting. Also, at the time, it was just about the same time the DOJ found out that mayors were embezzling millions from the funds, so we started to clamp down on that.
Yeah, I've had to be self-restraining myself. Like this event we're putting on today, they're trying to do a $250,000 prize pool with $500,000 of administration. And I'm like, no. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we've got the
Yeah,
money, but I need it to be right. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well,
Um,
to give you an idea of just how loosely it was being used before, there was state grants, and the richest person in the city got a $7 million state grant from one of the mayors,
oh,
even though they're one of the richest people in the city. And also, I found out during my term that the music industry was overcharging the mayor's office for about 2 years, and apparently no other mayor caught onto it when it was extremely obvious what they were doing, which makes you think they were just given a number and they just paid it rather than actually looking at
well,
the spreadsheets and
that's
everything.
yeah. And it wouldn't surprise me. It's my team has been very diligent. They're all in like different sectors, so I've had the like the privilege to have good people around me that can do those checks. You know what I mean?
It's a
Um,
good thing to have.
and
So I think it was Crane is the one that caught onto it. He was the because he was the one kind of like going over all the state funds, making sure they weren't being abused.
mm,
It was a interesting time, you know. The music industry didn't exactly like me because I was the one telling them, no, you can't overcharge us.
well, that's actually a
So
big part of why I've been we've been making sure like our auditing is very like clean. Um,
uh, it's just the fact that you're doing any level of auditing is a good thing.
oh, it's ooh, I got to take this. Sorry, Max.
Oh yeah, no
Hey,
worries, no worries.
Veronica.
Hi, Nino. How are you?
Pretty good. I
Good.
wanted to apologize and say I've taken way longer than I wanted to with this EMS stuff. Um,
Mm-hmm. That's
but
okay.
it is submitted and
Mm-hmm.
cooking. So hopefully over
Okay,
the next
great.
couple days it'll be nice and ready to go.
I
Uh,
did just want to point out that the one edit I asked you to make on the legislation was not made before it got posted.
God damn it! Please tell me
Yeah,
that's not the case.
it is in fact the case. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, let me update it right now. Give me a sec.
Yeah, the last line says LSPD instead of EMS.
Uh, oh my God, it's double posting too.
Yeah.
God fucking damn it. See, this is why I
Yeah.
hate this little system. Like, I want to, I can't edit it.
You can't?
No.
Oh no.
Give me one sec.
Mm-hmm. Cascade, both dispatch units are 10-7 at the moment.
Let me just make sure it's good. Okay. Okay. Boom. Done.
Wonderful. And then I just have
Okay.
one more just teeny tiny little question for
Yep,
you.
absolutely.
Can we have $4.4 million, please?
For the helicopter?
Yeah, we have the ability. We have a garage and like a showroom and a man who sells us helicopters now, but it's $4.4 million and we can't afford it.
The answer is yes. Give me, so how we get there, give me tomorrow. I'm going to ask my team, see how we can chop it off, and we'll make it happen. I wanted to get you
Thank
guys
you
a
so much.
helicopter for like the longest time, guys.
I know, and I know we spoke about it and we didn't know how much it was going to cost, but
Yeah.
it turns out our EMS one is like a lot more expensive than the PD one. And
Absolutely.
the price tag is listed at $4.4 million.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Thank you, Mr.
Yep,
Nino. I really appreciate
100%.
that. Okay, should I call you back at
Call
some
me
time?
tomorrow, and what we'll do
Okay.
is we'll Yumi, Michael will chop up the details.
Okay.
We just got to make sure that I can cut that check, and if I can't, we'll pass legislation to do it, and then as soon as it's in, boom, boom. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
Okay,
all
thank you so much, Mr. Nino. I appreciate
anytime.
that.
I appreciate it. And Veronica,
Okay,
if
I'll
there's
speak to you-
anything
yeah.
else, let me know.
I will do. Thank you
All
so
right.
much. I'll speak to you tomorrow.
Easy. Take care.
Okay. Okay, bye.
All right, bye. Okay. Holy fuck, we have EMS helicopters now.
Oh, perfect.
Um,
They didn't have it before, to be honest with you.
I've been advocating for it, and maybe this is something that, you know, yeah, this is going to be great. I'm very excited for that. 'Cause these poor people, they've been having to send like the EMS like vans up the hills and shit.
Oh, yeah, that's not
like
good.
up
Those things
Chiliad.
don't have good traction.
No.
Especially up Chiliad, those streets are small.
Yeah.
Pathways.
So you figure by the time, if they make it up there all busted up, you know, that person's probably taking local EMS.
Oh god, especially if they're going off that jump as well by the ski lodge. My friend Yuno used to do that a lot.
True.
So test every vehicle by taking it down that mountain.
Yep. You're not
Can't
wrong.
imagine how they'd even get there on those big trucks.
So, when I
there?
heard you were no longer interested, I couldn't help but say, Max, I think you would do fantastic on our team. And while it may not be, this may seem like it's coming out of the blue, let me explain my reasoning. My team today consists of 3 ex-judges, 2 doctors, a legislator from Canada, a ex-dispatcher, Tweety that works around food court stuff, Wyatt, who has been running, I think, the most successful business. But where we have and then press corps, Archie. Our representation in the business space is just rather dry. Now, I want to be very clear when I say business space. A lot of people own businesses in quotations. And it's mostly just a front. And very few individuals understand the concept of turning a creative idea into something. And when I heard your name come up, it immediately aligned itself to what you did back when Sis was around with the Liquid Library. And I think that your mind for what business should be would be critical for our staff to advance business life in Los Santos over the next 3 months. And I think after the 3 months are over, I think it would set you up at least with the experience and possibly some folks from the staff that would, you know, might be interested in working with you. I think there's a secondary reason as well. I think this past election over the 3 months has created a lot of divisions that were unnecessary. Perhaps some fault of my own, perhaps some fault from others. But I think mostly, I think a lot of that divide was created as a side effect of third parties and self-interest. I don't know how much of this is a little too cryptic, but I'm hoping with this sort of hand forward, some of that can be put aside so that those who felt as though they were on the outside can... I want your network to feel included. Because they should be.
My network?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
It's just the people that I know?
Exactly.
So obviously that's kind of dwindled over the last couple of months. Also a lot of people.
Well, right now, the businesses that I represent, I don't think really include people that used to live in Melwood Park. Or like XHOA. Those entire circles are very underrepresented within my staff.
I do enjoy the Middle Park area. It's quite nice.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the biggest hurdle to get businesses going is the commercial property issue.
I think it might be easier than we think. But it's going to require the state intervention, unfortunately. To give you an idea, there's a bunch of properties. Well, so what's happening today is a lot of exceptionally wealthy individuals are purchasing up houses as soon as they pop up.
Yeah, I saw one of those earlier. There's like 15 properties.
Yep. And then they are listing them for double to direct individuals. Hey, Donnie.
Hey. So yeah, the 537,000 is not a bad price. So
I'm gonna go for it.
You want to get it now?
No, because I gotta do shit. So tomorrow probably.
Okay. Yeah. Let me know. I can give you. What's that?
What did Lucy say?
Give him a call. Give him a call. He should have his phone. It's the same phone.
Which one? What's the last digits?
Last is 5629.
Easy. Oh, I saw him post from a different one. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's probably his war phone or something. All right. Easy.
Yeah. I'm not gonna confirm nor deny. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. You take care.
All right.
Bye.
Later.
Yeah. I know I'm throwing a lot at you at once, Max, and I don't know how much of that even like resonates with you, quite frankly. But I also don't expect you to make a decision today. But I want to throw that that line out there, right?
I'll definitely consider it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking of getting back into the business world myself. Used to help a lot with Cerberus, and I'd love to see a business like that pop up again in the city.
Yeah, there was that's so tough to do.
Very much so.
It's
I mean, the amount of businesses that can really function right now is limiting enough as is. You know, it's mechanic shops and the food court are kind of like the big ones that can function. The rest is up to people having the mind for it, really.
And that right there is exactly it.
And the commitment. I think commitment's a big thing too.
It is.
There's always been this thing in town that I call the nightclub curse.
Yeah.
Basically, a nightclub will open. They'll have a big grand opening with lots of people. Then they'll have a second opening where not as many people show up, and then they'll never open it again. That's consistently happened to like at least 3 or 4 different nightclubs I've seen in town. I think a lot of people don't have that sort of will and commitment to get through the slow times of business, which a lot of it is slow time.
Yeah. I think, how do I put this? Look, I'm just going to shoot straight. I think a lot of the visionaries of what made businesses way back when, the ones who could take anything and turn it into something and believe that these things were material, a lot of them have gone away to, there's too much of a culture of just grinding shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, very much so. I hate that.
Yeah. And unless there's like an entity like the mayor's office that says, no, this is fucking real, you cannot make, it will never come to fruition. Right? It requires that like cultural reset. And that's why I'm very passionate in making sure that there's enough representation in the cabinet to advocate and make it feel real. Because what makes it real? It's when the PD acknowledges it, when people acknowledge it, and the mayor's office acknowledges it. Right?
Agency, basically.
Precisely.
You need to give people that agency to get the people like, the Pennies, the Shelleys back in the day. People that actually run the stuff and become the face of those places.
Mm.
I've always thought the VU Bahama Mamas have always been very underutilized places. I've always wondered if there's one person we could say owns that place, would be able to get it up and running, just have that agency to do so.
I want you to give this a good think. Talk to, whoever you need to talk to, but it's I think it's very important. I mean, obviously, look, my election isn't guaranteed. You never know till election day. But I do know that if I win, I want to make sure that my cabinet is representing everybody, and nobody is left out.
I think it's a good thing to consider. I mean, especially when it comes to civilians, it does feel like we kind of get the short end of the stick a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I hope I'll be able to give some good representation for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if it means like building something up. Look, like, we've tried. Like, we've got, we're giving money for events. We got a music legislation we just passed, all kinds of shit. But the reality is, like, no one applies for it.
Yeah, it's with the events, I know a few event people, a lot of it doesn't come down to the money, it comes to the work involved with it.
Yeah.
It can be hours and hours of work, and you might even not have a guaranteed people showing up. We had a few issues with that back in the Liquid Library.
Yeah.
Host event and just no one shows up. And that is like very soul crushing.
It 100%. But that's where the money comes in. Like, you got to throw the money out there. Otherwise, people are going to be like, well, I could rob a bank instead.
Yeah,
which is a shitty mentality, but it is what it is.
Very much so. I mean, again, that kind of happened to me when I was dealing with the music industry back in the day. I said, why would I make this song for this amount of money when I can go rob a bank and make more? That's such a stupid thing to compare it to. Why am I not going to go do a crime rather than make music? I don't fucking know.
I used to deal guns like 15 plus years ago. And being the mayor is no different. People just want you to hand them a pre-baked meal. And the reality is that you can't do that. There's no way to do that. Someone's got to put in the work.
Get the chefs.
Yeah. There's a good amount around. It's just making sure that they're the ones that are supported. But
Alrighty. I think I've got a few things to think on them.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you got any questions, I'm an open book. I don't really hide much of anything.
Likewise, here.
All right.
I think it's better to be honest because sooner or later things get found out.
Yeah.
It's better to be upfront and honest with people to get things going.
Yep. I don't disagree. All right, Max, I got to make a couple rounds. There's going to be a scavenger hunt at the courthouse. $600,000 prize. Supposedly going to be really good. I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah, so Finley's running it, right? She works at the coffee shop.
Yes, she is fucking fantastic.
Oh, yeah, she's great at events. She's someone that has that sort of passion and drive to do events. Very few people in the city have that.
Yeah, it's a lost art.
Very much so. I can't do it myself. I fully admit that.
Yeah.
I don't have the will to do the events. Wish I did. It would have helped a lot of things back in the day. It takes a certain person to do it, and more power to them.
Yeah, it's all right.
Well, I
Well-
do hope you have a lovely rest of your day. And remember, if you ever need coffee, just give me a ring.
Will do. Appreciate you, Max.
Best coffee in town.
All right.
Right, I will catch you in a bit.
All right. You take care, Max.
Take care.